Hi everyone, in today's lesson we're going to study sentence types. We'll look at simple sentences, compound, complex, and transitions. Hopefully after watching this video and getting lots of practice, you'll write improved sentences and make less grammar mistakes. First, let's go over what makes a simple sentence. So which two of these four are sentences and why? Correct, the first one is a sentence, and the fourth one. 2 and 3 are not sentences. Well, how do you know which ones are sentences and not? In English, what do you need to have a complete sentence? Basically, there are three main things: a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. For example, Shakira honors her Latino and Arabic heritage in her music. The subject is Shakira, the verb is honors, and the complete thought is her Latino and Arabic heritage in her music. Let's take a deeper look into what makes a simple sentence. Subjects. It answers the question of who or what, and it usually comes before the verb in statements. Subjects can be a noun or noun phrase, like English or the English language. In these sentences, these are the subject. It could be a pronoun, like he. It could be an ing phrase, like learning English is interesting. So what is interesting? Learning English. This is the subject. You could also have a noun clause, like what he said was interesting. And the subject is what he said. The verb can be an action or state. It can be just one word or a few words, like loves, is studying, has been studying, might transfer. These are verbs. You need to complete the thought after the verb. Some verbs need something, an object or complement to finish the thought. For example, Jeremy is an international student. So what is he? An international student. So this is the complete thought. He lives in Oceanside. He is my subject. Verb lives. In Oceanside is my complete thought. He might transfer to Cal State San Marcos. He is the subject. Might transfers the verb. And then now I'm explaining where he might transfer. This is the complement. Note, the subject may not be the first word in a sentence. You can begin a sentence with an introductory phrase or clause. So let's take a look at these two sentences. What is the subject in these sentences? In the evening, she goes to the gym. What's the subject? She's the one that's going to the gym. This here, in the evening, is an introductory phrase. Or, after running on the treadmill for 20 minutes, she lifts weights. Again, she is my subject. And notice the comma. After introductory phrases and clauses, we often use a comma. In some sentences, the subject comes after the verb. There are 20 students in the class. Here, the subject is 20 students. Or there was an earthquake yesterday. An earthquake is my subject. We call this a delayed subject. In these constructions, there is, there are in the present tense, or there was or were in the past tense. The subject is coming after the verb. Let's review. What is the subject, verb, and complete thought in these sentences? So you may want to pause the video here. Number 1, the subject is I. The verb am, complete thought, a positive person. Number 2, subject, being negative, verb, can cause, complete thought, a lot of problems. Number 3, subject, the world, verb, has, complete thought, so many wonderful things happening. Here we have the there are, so the subject is many positive thoughts in my mind. Number 5, we have an introductory phrase. The subject is I, verb, will look, complete thought, for ways to expand my mind. Now let's talk about compound sentences. Compound sentences connect two independent clauses with a coordinating conjunction. Here's an example. I want to have a good career, so I will go to college. We have two complete sentences, two independent clauses, and we have a coordinating conjunction in the middle, and there's a comma. So basically, independent clauses are complete sentences, and the coordinating conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. People often use this acronym of fanboys to help you remember these 7 coordinating conjunctions. So basically, it's taking 2 simple sentences and then combining it with one of these fanboys. Here are more examples of each one. Mario bought a new car, comma, for his old one broke down. Here, for means because. I know for we use like for 10 years or for a while, we use it for time, but when it's used like a conjunction here, it means because. You can have and. Nor combines 2 negative thoughts. Mario did not buy a car, nor was he looking for one. And notice after nor, we use like question formation or inversion for emphasis. Mario was looking to buy a car, comma, but he couldn't find one he liked. Number 5, Mario will buy a car, or he might buy a used one. We have options with or choice. Mario just bought a car, yet he is having mechanical issues. Yet means but. And so means as a result. Mario bought a new car, so, or as a result, he is very happy. So these combine 2 simple sentences. You put a comma in one of these coordinating conjunctions. Now, the third type are complex sentences. A complex sentence has an independent and at least one dependent clause. A dependent clause cannot stand on its own. It depends on an independent clause to form a complete thought. Here's an example. When I exercise, this is my dependent clause. It's not finish. When I exercise, I don't know what's happening. It needs independent clause. My body feels great. We put a subordinating conjunction. Here in this case it's when, and then there's a comma in the middle. In English, there are many subordinating conjunctions like when, before, after, until, as soon as, since, because, if, even if, unless, although, and even though. Let's take a look at the structure. When I go to school, I learn new things. We have the dependent clause and the independent clause with the subordinating conjunction and a comma in the middle. But you could also bring this independent clause at the beginning. I learn new things when I go to school with the subordinating conjunction in the middle. So there are 2 ways to write this sentence. To rewrite this sentence, even though it's raining, the cars are moving fast on the freeway. Correct. You could say the cars are moving fast on the freeway even though it is raining. And notice when the dependent clause comes second, you don't need. Read these 2 sentences and decide which one is compound and which one is complex and why. You may want to pause the video here to give yourself time. This one's complex. You have your dependent clause, although taking classes online will be a challenge, and then your independent clause, and the subordinating conjunction. The second one is compound. You have an independent clause. Taking classes online will be a challenge. I have my fanboys but in the middle, my coordinating conjunction. I will do my best. That is the second independent clause. The last type of sentence structure we're going to look at are transitions. Transitions help make connections between ideas and make ideas flow smoothly. You combine 2 independent clauses or sentences with transitions. Here are some examples. Veronica loves to travel, period. In fact, she visits different countries and cities in her own country at least 5 times per year. So you use these transitions to combine just in between 2 sentences. You can have a period or a semicolon, or it can even come after a subject. Veronica loves to travel, period. She, in fact, visits different countries and cities, etc. So these are the 3 different ways we can use transitions. And there are many transition words in English. Here are some, like in addition and furthermore, to show addition, then, next, first, finally, for time, for contrast, however, nevertheless, on the other hand, for result, therefore, as a result, thus. To summarize, you can say overall or in general. For emphasis or for explanations, you can say in fact, of course, indeed, certainly. And to give examples, you can say for example or for instance. What are the transition words in these sentences? You can pause the video here. Correct. The first one is however. The second is therefore. And the last one is also. Notice that you can use a period or semicolon. Thanks for watching this video, and now it's time to practice.